Wednesday, here it is, and if you've been tagging along with us, you'll know that we've been trying to do some recovery style workouts on Wednesday because it's the middle of your training week, and if you're going to be training 5 days a week, you need to make sure you're programming in the right amount of mobility recovery style work to reset your nervous system and make sure your training is sustainable. It's easy to go 5 days a week hardcore for the month of January, but you want to do this 12 months of the year. You want to make a sustainable fitness change, and this is the kind of stuff that will help you have a lifetime of fitness and be able to achieve all the activities you want to do when you get older and you've got the grandkids that you got to chase around. This is what you're doing to get there, okay? So we're going to start on our back with some breathing work. We've discussed how important breathing is. We're going to be in the dead bug position. So we've done this before, right? We've been in the dead bug position several times. We're going to be at 90 degrees. We're going to make sure that our back is not arched, that it's smashed into the mat. So I want you to imagine somebody has got a rope attached to your spine. They're pulling you down to the mat, okay? Knees are going to be up to 90 degrees. A little bit of flare in the hips and the feet come in just a little bit. Arms up overhead. And for 1 minute, I just want you to hang out here and breathe all of your air down into your pelvis and exhale up through your rib cage. Okay? So we're gonna go in through the mouth, out through the nose, or in through the nose, out through the mouth. Big belly. Big exhale. Breathe in, big belly. Big exhale. 1 minute of breathing here just to start us off. This is really an excellent core exercise. It works on timing the intra-abdominal muscles, really getting the diaphragm and the abdomen firing together and getting prepared to do some real work later in the week. All right, so second exercise today of our mobility recovery workout. We've done this before. Actually, we've done a variation in every single week of this program, starting with windshield wipers in week 1, and now we're going to do 1.5 rep shin boxes. Okay, so we're going to start on your weak side. For me, it's my left side, and you can load this up with a dumbbell if you want. You can totally go body weight. It's going to be just fine either way, but we're going to do 1.5 reps. So I'm going to push through my knees, keep my ribs down, abs crunched. I'm going to push up and through the shin box. I'm going to lower halfway. I'm going to come back up to the top, and then I'm going to slowly lower back down to the ground. Okay, so for 1 minute here, up, half of a rep, up and through, all the way down. We're really working on that eccentric control. So it's easy to get up, it's harder to control going down. Now we have to control to the point where we can stop halfway, push up and through, and now we can lower down to the ground. Left side and then right side, same thing. In the shin box, I really want you to think about closing the box, so getting this foot in contact with this knee, glue those together, nice and tall, push through the hips, half a rep down, push back up through the hips. Now we're gonna lower and control, and 1 minute on each side there for your shin box. Okay, then we're gonna drop our dumbbell down, and we're gonna use this as a little bit of a target to work on our hip flexors here, often a very problem area, and this is one really awesome strategy to make a muscle relax by contracting. So we did some psoas pulses last week on Wednesday. Now what we're gonna do here is just kink this leg a little bit so it can be in nice and tight. If you want, it can be kinked up and out. Just make sure it's not straight. It's gonna rob you of a little bit of stability. So put a little kink in that knee, and now what we're gonna do is lift this front leg from a straight leg position without crunching your body. I want you to keep your spine nice and upright. Think about somebody having a rope attached to the top of your head, pulling you towards the ceiling. You're gonna lift, come over your dumbbell, set that down. You're gonna lift, go over your dumbbell, set back down. Okay? So for 1 minute, slow and controlled, lift, across, lower. Okay? 1 minute on that left side, switch it up, get set up. You got a nice break in between. It's gonna be a 30-second break. Lift and raise, lift and lower. Okay? Up and over. And you just wanna challenge yourself. You wanna get a real challenge in, flip your dumbbell over, get a little bit higher, and really focus on keeping that spine nice and upright, and increase the challenge that way to make this a little bit harder. Okay? So there's your repetitions there and your workout for the hip flexors. Then we're going to go to a box, bench, step, couch, kitchen chair. You're gonna grab your dowel, hockey stick, golf club, broomstick, okay? You're gonna sit back on your heels. We've done this as a warm-up drill, but we're gonna do this as our recovery workout drill this week. Okay, you're gonna sit back on your heels so that your head can pass between the box, and from here you're just gonna grab that dowel overhead with a nice wide grip, and you're gonna pull that back behind you, give it a nice squeeze at the end, come forward, and we're just gonna rep this out for 1 minute. When you squeeze, I want you to think about pulling your chest towards the mat or the ground in front of you. Pull through, and we're just gonna rep this out here for time, 1 minute. Okay, then we're gonna go down to our transitions for the shoulders. Last week on Wednesday, we did a 5-month to 7-month transition where we had the ribs up, we were rolling through, okay? This week I want you to start from that 7-month position, so a low oblique sit, okay? From here, you're gonna plant your hand, push through the floor, come up nice and straight, nice and tall, keep your eyes on your hand, lower to the mat, don't sag through the ribs. Strong through the shoulder, keep the ribs up, you're gonna press through and lower and control, okay? 1 minute here, I want you to really push through the floor and then really control that lower so that when you hit the ground, you're ready to go. So you got a lot of tension in this side of the body. This is a lot more difficult than it looks, but this is how we get from a 7-month developmental position onto an 8-month position where we can transition from there. We'll go right side, and then again, left side, same thing. So we'll go bottom leg forward at 90 degrees. We did this part last week, 5 to 7. Now we're going 7 to 8. Press through, nice and tall through here, lower and control. Press through, and lower and control, okay? Another skill that we're working on that will also help with those Turkish get-ups that we have also been working on. Now, we're gonna do a couple movements in the bear position, okay? We're gonna start in a bear position, and we're gonna walk our hands back into a squat, okay? Nice and upright in a squat. I want you to lean forward, catch yourself, walk into a bear position, okay? So this is a 12-month to standing developmental position. This is how your child will get from being a crawler to a walker by transferring their weight. It's the same position here. This is a bear position, right? I'm just changing from a supported 4 points of support, 4 points of stability. Now I'm going to 2 points of stability, nice and upright in that squat. And this one's gonna burn the quads, really get the heart pumping for 1 minute here. Then you're gonna go right into a bear crawl, okay? So we're going back a little bit of a developmental step. You're gonna go opposite arm leg, and I want you to think about driving straight forward, not coming out. You see a lot of bear crawl like this where you're shifting the hips. I want you to keep those hips nice and centered. You're stepping forward so that knee is coming to meet the forearm. Just go forward 2 or 3 steps and reverse. If you want to mix this up, in round 2, you can bear crawl laterally. So we can crawl to the side and crawl back, okay? Again, really gonna roast the quads here. So this is where our mobility recovery workouts start to get tough, right? We don't wanna just do mobility work. We still wanna get the heart rate up and get all those nice effects of exercise, the respiratory effects, cardiovascular effects. Now, we're gonna finish off with a little bit of a slower tempo. We're gonna do a pretzel stretch, okay? An excellent full body stretch that challenges the cross patterns of the body. So you're gonna go top leg's gonna come over top, back leg's gonna be behind. You're gonna grab that back leg, okay? Grab this front knee to make sure this front knee doesn't elevate. And what you're gonna do here is just melt this shoulder into the mat as you look towards that direction. So here, I'm just gonna let this melt, and I'm just gonna breathe here for 1 minute. So about 5 to 6 breaths. If you go nice and slow, inhale. Exhale, stretch a little more. We're gonna go 1 minute on the left side, and I'll show you here from this side. Top leg comes over, bottom leg comes up. Grab that bottom leg, pin this top leg, melt towards the mat. And now we're just gonna breathe. And out. 1 minute on that side. We're gonna do 2 rounds of our recovery workout today, and that'll get you set up for the final 2 days of January Jumpstart on Thursday and Friday.